Meet the bluefin tuna, one of the ocean's biggest and baddest predators. These submarines with gills are the ultimate challenge. Historically difficult to land on rod and reel, unless of course you're using gear the size of a microwave. But there's actually a few psychos defying the odds. These three are known as the Tuna Junkies, and for almost a decade, these local legends have been doing what the old guard thought to be impossible. For the next 3 days, I'm joining the Junkies on an epic adventure to chase giants, learn secrets, and tackle some ambitious goals. It's going to be wild, and I'm taking you all along for the entire story. Let's get after it.
I feel like we're on a street interview.
Yeah, right?
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another video. Today we are definitely not in Florida anymore. We are in Chile, New Jersey, and I am with some of America's most psycho tuna fishermen. Everyone up here calls them the Tuna Junkies. This is James,
What's up, guys?
Jim, and Billy back there. These guys chase the biggest, baddest tuna in the ocean using some gear that I'm gonna call a little bit questionable, but I think it's going to be one of the most epic videos we've ever done. These are some of the biggest fish I've ever seen, or at least I've ever hoped to see. Let's get out there. Wait, say that again?
Our buddy had shots on these fish from the surf.
I want you guys to think about what it would be like to be casting from the beach and see a 500-pound tuna come up out of the water near your bait. I think I need to change my pants after that. I don't know about you guys.
So right now we are running straight out in the ocean. We got out of that crazy pack of boats. What's the game plan?
We're gonna look for birds and fish on top. You know, some of the best feeds are under 1 or 2 birds, so we gotta keep our eyes out.
Do you guys find fish on with the electronics sometimes? Do you find birds and stuff?
Sometimes the big bird packs, but it's, you know, with the style of fishing, it's usually 1 or 2 birds.
Gotcha.
And you see them, you know, flying around erratically, swooping down to the water, and they're basically following these tuna. And when you see those birds gather up and start to go down, that's where you want to put your lure, right where those birds can dive, and boom, there you go.
The style of fishing is very intense, very fast, run and gun style. You have to make the most of every single opportunity. And the boys fished yesterday, and they said that if they weren't up on the front, ready to go to make the cast at the perfect time, they wouldn't have caught the big fish yesterday. So what we're hoping to do is make the most of every opportunity.
As the sun crested over the horizon, all of us had our eyes peeled, looking for any signs of life we could. Birds, surface feeds, whatever it was. We knew the conditions had been good, so we knew we were going to get some chances today. Now for this video, I said we had some ambitious goals, and I have them here listed out on the screen. From catching a legal sized fish to catching a true giant, there's a lot that I want to accomplish in this video. But the very first thing we have to do is at least find some feeding fish.
So we just saw our first feeds of the morning. We're on plane running over to them. Hopefully the fish stay up or we see them again, but it's gonna get real chaotic here, real quick, on the grab rail. Rod's up in the front, ready to go. Fingers crossed.
Oh! Let's go! Oh yeah, there! Good cast. Somebody's right in. Let's go. Come on, baby.
Come on, baby. Sick feeds, dude.
Those are keepers. Oh, sure.
Free casting lesson later.
There's a bunch of them.
My heart's racing.
Birds out left of that boat. Really good pack of birds.
Oh! Yeah, that's what we're... Oh my God!
Oh!
Big!
Left to right. Good size. Let's go.
Stickable. so big. Submarines coming out of the water and eating on top.
I saw, I'm pretty sure, that I saw when I hit on the board. I just saw a big bomb.
We all spent last night getting completely rigged up and ready. You don't want to spend your time fishing on the water, you know, fumbling around with your gear, getting ready. So super heavy rods, 20K Saltiga PE8 Silk Ocean, 250-pound leader I think we put on this, 250-pound leader, and they still have fish chafe 250, which is crazy. And the 8-inch NLBN, this is a 3-ounce in the tuna head. I'm fishing the paddle tail. They got a couple of different soft plastics on theirs. They got the 5-inch paddle and then a straight tail, but we're gonna try a bunch of these different presentations, see what these fish want. But they've been catching them on these, so I'm stoked to get a bite and just set the hook like an absolute madman.
Oh my God, going nuts over there. Going nuts. I think those might have been bass right there.
So Billy this morning brought some of the local donuts. You guys are telling me they like sell out by like 5:15 in the morning?
By 5:15, 5:30 in the morning, I gotta show up right at 5 a.m.
Which one are you going for, dude? I'm already one donut deep. I'm about to be 2 donuts deep.
This cinnamon thing.
Is this a jelly?
That's a jelly.
All right, we're going with the jelly. Come on, man. Cheers.
Cheers.
Tuna fuel right here. We started to fall into a pretty consistent pattern. We would see a feed, we would run over to it, we would cast at it. And man, even though we weren't getting bites immediately, this was so freaking exciting because you just see these giants blowing up in the distance and the anticipation running over to them with the possibility of being able to hook one of those things absolutely just gets your heart beating out of your chest. Locally, they call these fish ghosts because you see them come up in the distance, you run over to them, and they're gone. So that's why when you see us running over to them at full speed, it's not to be dramatic. It's not because we're just being crazy. It's because you might get one cast at these fish and you don't know how long they're going to stay up for. So doing everything in your power to get over there, get a lure in front of that fish, and then just move on to the next one if you don't get a bite is really the name of the game. I just saw a freaking submarine come out of the water and need a bait. These guys want me to try and catch that on a spinning rod.
Down in this zone, it's like it's way harder to get a bite down in this zone.
Yeah. What?
Right here. Was it big? Pull back.
1 o'clock, big feed. 1 o'clock, big feed again. This is insanely hard to capture for you guys, but I'll do my best. We are seeing big fish blow up everywhere. It's singles. They're coming up, eating a bait, boom, then they're gone, and we're casting at them. We just had our first fish take a swipe at a lure, but he didn't get it. But this is absolute madness. I haven't gotten a bite yet, but man, my heart is pumping out of my chest. Absolute giant fish, anywhere from 100 pounds to 300 pounds coming out of the freaking water, man. Go, Billy.
Oh, right here, hard right, hard right, hard right.
Watch yourself, Billy. This is crazy.
Yo, is he trolling or they're...
Oh my God, so big.
There you go! Let's go! Come on! Let's go, Ryan!
Go!
Are you kidding me? Listen to that thing go!
Yeah, welcome to New Jersey, RYANMORIE!
Woo! Woo!
Let's go.
Dude, y'all, that was crazy. I literally looked down, saw my GoPro's on 2%, was about to put the rod in the rod holder, and I was about to put my rod down. The boys were like, "There's a feed right there," and I was like, "Well, I guess I'll just cast at that. Guess I'll ask questions later and worry about getting the bite." Man, that was sick. We've been running around all morning trying to make something happen, trying to get these fish to eat. Absolutely crushed the NLBN 8-inch. Oh, that tuna head, dude, smoked the 20K.
Maybe he might be coming back into us, Joe.
Yeah, he is. I don't know, this fish might just be like a perfect size one.
Could be. The size looks big.
Bob looks good.
Scooting up to the front,
Yep.
keeping these fish. Yep. And just completely spin us around. Wow. Never caught a bluefin before, boys.
I can tell you already that this is a pretty significant one.
Whew. So badass.
Jersey, baby, let's go.
It's I think I'm okay for a second, but maybe in a minute or two.
Yeah.
Straight off the front, going to the left. Going to the right now.
You want to take him in the back?
Yeah, I'm just going to wait to see what he does. I'd like to try to get him on the other side of the boat.
They love the bow.
They know where your weakest point is.
Or your least advantageous.
Yeah, I'm going to try to go around him.
Straight down.
Yeah. Good? So good?
Yeah, he's spinning.
Yeah, good.
Wait.
He's got to wait, definitely.
He's close. He's only 50 feet down right now.
35 down.
35?
Yeah.
You're going to see him in a couple more cranks. He's pinwheeling right now.
Yeah, for sure. You also, these fish sit sideways and they just kind of do little circles. It's called pinwheeling. And this is the down and dirty, the painful part of the fight. Part where you're low back, you find all the weaknesses in your body real quick. But basically, a fish will go away from me, and as he comes back in, that's when I'm gaining. He's going to the left a little, Jim.
We're good now. Yep.
And having good communication with the crew, experienced captain, someone like Jim on the wheel, is huge. I got color. We just saw him for a second, y'all.
At this point, we were over 10-ish minutes into the fight. All of the adrenaline from the initial hookup has worn off at this point, and it's just becoming for lack of a better term, a pain cave for me. And I really don't have a good way to describe this for you all, what this feels like if you've never done it. It's unlike any other fish fight I've ever experienced when you're fighting a big tuna on spin tackle. I want you to imagine you have a broomstick, let's say. And to that broomstick, at the end, you have a little string tied to a 20 to 25 pound weight. That's pretty much the amount of drag that we're fishing on these fish. And you have to hold that broomstick and hold that weight up, hanging in the air, hanging off the tip of the broomstick, with your back in a slightly bent over position. And do that for 10, 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how big the fish is and how long the fight is going to last. You are absolutely smoked, and your body is screaming at you in every which way to stop what is happening. Stop whatever you are doing. This is not good for us. And you really have to have some mental stamina to just be able to kind of overcome that.
I don't think so.
I'm not, this isn't a foreign thing to me. I've done this before. I've landed multiple tuna, multiple triple-digit tuna, even my biggest yellowfin of all time, over 200 pounds, all on spinning rods. So I'm not new to this. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you've done in the past if you're not ready for what's about to come right now, right in this moment.
Getting as much as I can. Yep, he's going that way.
I'm having tons of mixed emotions at this point. I've been trying for over a year to get up to New Jersey to fish with these guys, and finally we made it happen. We had the right weather window, we have a cameraman, we have a sponsor set up, and there's so much that went into this one moment. We've already been riding around for 4 hours making casts at feeds every 2 seconds, and we finally got the bite. And I want this fish in the boat so badly. Not only for me, but for the guys on the boat that are working so hard to try and make this happen as well. This fish could really make or break the video. It's that perfect size, that recreational size where you're legally allowed to harvest one. It's in that 60 to 70 inch range, 150 to 180 pound class fish, which just is absolutely perfect. And it's not easy to hook these fish. A lot of the times you get stuck in 200 to 300, 400 pounders up here, and you're not legally allowed to harvest those ones. And while they're fun, they're not going to make this video exactly what I want it to be. So I am absolutely wanting this fish in the boat with every fiber of my being, while simultaneously my low back is screaming, "What are you doing, you idiot?"
Yeah, if you can just squat on them, yep. Yeah, like, if you lean back and squat.
With maximum tension on it, this fish was swimming insanely erratically. Its pinwheels were super wide, and sometimes it would just absolutely dart straight back under the boat. So I have to go from having the rod in my hip to then having the rod stuck almost straight down, or just stick the rod completely in the water so the fish doesn't break off on the motors or anything like that. It essentially would end up completely on the other side of the boat, which is just unfortunately what happens sometimes when these fish have super wide pinwheels, and you just have to adjust.
That rod up. Got rod up. It's gonna come up quick. That's where you want it. Put the big wheel down, put the loop in. That's it, right? Same side on the don't pull you down. Don't pull you down.
No. I've never done anything that dumb in my life.
Shit, all good. You got another shot.
No, I just never do dumb shit like that. Like, It's a rookie as
Yeah, so we were very near the end game on that fight on that fish. Saw it multiple times. Fighting super erratically, doing a lot of spins. And I'm getting gassed. Pulling on it, he's doing his circles like normal. And the fish took another run back towards the motors. And I thought he was a lot more clear than he was. And he kept going that way when I expected him to keep spinning right. The fish broke the motors. It's super frustrating. Very much like an amateur mistake. Something that I would see someone else do, and you know, if it was a buddy, I would laugh at him. I would give him a bunch of smack talk about. It's insanely frustrating, and you know, you're not only mad for yourself in a fishery like this, you're mad for everyone on the boat because everyone's invested in a big fish. It makes or breaks the day. So you know, everyone's being really nice to me right now, but I'm not being very nice to myself, and I wouldn't expect anyone to be nice to me because it's just sucks, man. I should have been able to get that rod back out around that engine. It's a stupid mistake, and hopefully we get another shot, man. That's all we can hope for.
Oh my God.
Oh, boys.
This is crazy. Are you kidding me?
Let's go, boys.
You're on the right. Right next to Billy.
It's sitting in one spot.
Oh, that's a manageable one for sure.
Sand eels too. I watch them spraying them out of the water.
Unbelievable sight. Doesn't even look real. You can't believe how big these fish are moving through the water, just gorging themselves on sand eels.
How big a fish is worth?
What's that?
How big a fish do you think those were?
What do you guys think the biggest ones were?
In there?
Yeah.
500 pounds.
Yeah.
That big?
Yeah, there were some 90, 95 inch fish in there.
Just came inside, wind picked up, so we came inside to a lump and just had a really, really good blitz of fish from probably 80 inches to about 100 inches on sand eels, you know, 30 feet off the boat and cast into them and no takers.
How fast were we moving?
We came in at about 40 knots.
40 knots.
So, yeah.
This thing cruises, dude. Like, you're getting after it. So you're seeing these fish blitzing, and then you're just throwing this thing in and getting us to the fish.
That's it. You just got to, you know, everything you got to get at them and hope you get at least one cast. We had like 2 or 3 good casts right there, but they're so dialed in on these sand eels. It's just a matter of just getting that bait in the right place at the right time and keeping the fingers crossed for a bite.
So the bite has kind of died after like 9:30 a.m. The fish kind of went down, but from 7 a.m. to 9:30, it seemed like everywhere we looked, we were seeing a fish blow up on top. We were running over to it, getting a cast at it, and then we were moving on to the next thing. And we did get that one bite. I did kook out that one fish, but right now we have like, I don't know, a couple hour window before we think the fish are gonna come back up. I wanted to take time to talk about what these boys do on the regular. They're looking a little sad right now, a little bummed that I googled that fish. But I have caught big tuna before. Big, right? Like 100 to 200 pound class yellowfins. But these guys are on another level. What's the biggest fish that you've caught on spin?
Like 600 pounds, over 100 inches.
It's so stupid.
Big
On
fish.
spinning rod.
Yeah, not all 90 inches. We catch a ton of big fish.
It's so crazy. And you fought fish that size too?
Yeah, I've been with Billy for almost like all the giants that we've caught. We've caught them almost all together here, like right in our backyard. It's pretty incredible.
So James has a little advantage. He's like, what, 6'6"?
6'4", 6'5".
Billy is 150 pounds and, you know, just of pure steel. And this man is catching absolute units. It's crazy to see gear like this nowadays catching those monsters. I mean, this is like a 20,000 size Stella, but it's crazy to think that you can do it. Because, you know, I think if you would talk to a lot of guys a decade ago or 2 decades ago, they would never think that you could catch these fish on spin. And it's advantageous, right? Because you see these blitzes come up, you see these fish feeding, and you have to put that bait there in that moment, in that second, to make something happen. So it's a very cool fishery that really is very, very new. What do you guys think is like one of the big misconceptions about this fishery that a lot of people have?
That these fish are unlandable on spinning gear.
Unlandable?
100% landable.
Yeah.
With the modern line, the reels, the rods. It's 100% possible. And
I mean, you proved it.
yeah,
You've proved it.
It's possible. I hate when people say, oh, you can't catch that fish or it's too big. It's not too big. We can catch
So
it.
hopefully these fish start going off again. It's absolutely been a grind in terms of seeing so many fish feeding, but only really getting one bite. So there's nothing easy about it. And I think that's been my misconception. I thought we were going to come up here and just bang a couple real quick, because I see these guys posting pictures and videos all the time, but you forget that wherever you go fishing, you have to put time in, put effort in. This has absolutely been a grind, but we're going to keep getting after it for you guys.
Like I said, we were expecting the fish to come back up to the surface and start feeding once the wind switched, but seemingly the fish just shut off completely. We decided to head inshore and try and find some striped bass and also the true giants. So the day prior, the true giants were inside, closer to the beach, feeding on bunker, and I'm talking 500 pounders, 600 pounders. Multiple boats had shots at them the day prior, so we knew that'd be a good chance to knock off both stripers on my checklist, as well as that true giant, that 8-foot plus long monster tuna.
Oh, good flopper. Mark about a dozen on the bottom.
Wow, they're flopping like crazy.
Oh! Not a tuna, but a unit of a fish.
That's a big bass.
Yeah.
Big bass.
Oh my god, that tail was giant. I loosened the drag, guys, so this thing isn't pulling tuna drag, but...
I can't wait for your hook to come in completely crazy. Oh my god, look at them inside of us. And
that was epic. Woo! Dude, that thing thumped it harder than the tuna. Woo! Hey, man.
oh, there's a bunch following them. I just saw like a bunch following them.
Dude, that's a big, mean fish. Look at that thing. Careful, light leader. Look at that thing. Phew. Yo, check that freaking thing out. Didn't expect to catch a unit of a striper. That's on, I mean, that might be my biggest one. I don't know, it's up there. Freaking thumped the NLBN. Absolutely hammered that 8-inch straight to, or 8-inch paddle tail. That was sick. That bait out. Watch yourself, Trevor. Dunk this fish back in. Come on, man. Oh, we got hammers in the front.
This was so cool to see in person. These bass were absolutely chewing on any baits that we threw out in front of them. They were going nuts, and you could see how many were actually around by looking right down there on the electronics. These fish were going nuts. All the boys were having fun. It was really just a welcome sight after a morning of only getting one bite tuna fishing. And I was so excited, I decided to whip out the small rod for these guys.
The wind's just taking it. Oh, he smoked it. Oh,
On the light rod.
oh, they pull drag on this rod. Yeah, it was literally, I couldn't even get my wind slack out. Big striped bass on the light rod. That Ocean Devil KingSlayer rod. Told you guys I'd do it all for like the 5K.
This exact same rod was catching golden trevally in freaking Costa Rica. Striped bass in Jersey now.
Oh, is that the Queen Mary?
It's not an NLBN, right?
No. It's okay, you can just get video of me fighting.
Sure.
This is sick. Especially after the tuna just kind of died down. It's, you know, it's nice to come in here, hook a couple fish, reassure yourself that you still know how to catch a fish or two. Beautiful, man. It's exactly why I brought the light rod, just in case we did run into a couple stripers, striped bass. These fish are cool. Eat a ton of different lures. Smoke NLBN, stick baits, top waters. Just beautiful fish, man. Hell yeah, it's fun on the light. It's fun on the heavy rod, dude. Yeah, everyone likes getting thumped. It really is. Sick, dude. Look how fat that thing is.
Another absolutely beautiful fish. These things are so healthy, gorging themselves on sand eels in here. Oh man, I'll never get over big beautiful fish like this crushing lures on top. Shout out to the Tuna Junkies making this happen. Might hopefully I don't mess up the next shot I get at a tuna if I get another one, but this has been an awesome surprise to come in here, get to catch these quality stripers when we weren't even striper fishing, man. Just so sick. 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
Nice. Nux.
Might be a whale one.
Billy just caught the actual size we've been after. I know this striper looks small, but this is actually a legal size one. 29 to 32 inches you're allowed to keep fish. This one's a hair over 29 inches. Beautiful fish, one of the best eating I've ever had. So congrats on that. He absolutely set the hook like a freaking madman on this one. What had us all dying, but nice, man. It's excellent work. I know you needed skill to find a small one, and you did it.
We're gonna be eating good now.
We fished hard the rest of the day trying to find any tuna feeds we could. There really only were a handful. Again, the fishing just shut off in terms of tuna fishing. So although we put our time in, it didn't yield any results. So we came in, just a little bit of sun left in the air, just enough time to lick our wounds to go at it again tomorrow.
James is down hard after a long day of fishing. All right, so that was one heck of a long day. These boys really go hard, really put the time in trying to make it happen. And we probably should have quit tuna fishing at about 10 o'clock when the rest of the fleet did, because no one really saw the fish. But we grinded it out, put that time in. Did get to catch a couple bass, which was super cool. Those stripers are absolutely going nuts. You could have caught them all day long, but that was a pleasant surprise. Get a couple nice ones, probably match my personal best. But we're lucky that we have one more full day of fishing tomorrow. It's gonna be quite rocky. It's gonna be quite the adventure, but I'm excited to get another shot at these things, and hopefully whoever hooks up doesn't mess it up like I did. Good morning, everyone. It is a little bit colder this morning. We got the ski goggles, we got face masks and everything like that, and we're apparently not the only dummies that are going fishing today, because we see other boats, but it's 40 degrees, about 25-mile-an-hour north winds, so it's going to be pretty rough. But the boy said we can get out there, so why not just go fishing while we're here? We're going to give it a shot. The wind's also supposed to die in the afternoon, and there's definitely been some giants around. We're going to go give them hell, see what happens.
We're gonna be nuking out there today. Big bombs going off.
Okay, so everywhere we look is white caps. Blowing 23-ish miles an hour straight out of the north. Ocean is very angry. We have seen some fish though. We did just get into a feed that looked pretty darn good. Probably, I don't know, 6 or 7, 8 fish, something like that coming up and busting, and we had a couple good shots at it, so it's promising. It's just, when it's this rough, it takes a long time to get to where the fish are, get to where the feeds are. So you got a little bit more luck than normal to make that happen. But what we might do, if we don't find anything in the next hour, head back towards the beach. It's a little calmer in there, and then head north to where Billy wants to go, because that's where the 500 pounders are.
We like the big fish.
You like the big fish?
We like the up north big fish a lot.
So I apologize if there's a little lack of clips right now, but it's very hard to film because we're basically, anytime we're going faster than this, it's just spray, whitewash, you're getting soaked, really cold, but we're definitely trying to catch some fish. Let's go, boys! Come on! Woo! James got that bite. Yo, where'd you get the bite on?
4-ounce NLBN, white 8-inch straight tail.
4-ounce NLBN, white straight tail. That's so sick, dude.
I'm about a half a spool right now.
So sick. James, how you feeling, man?
Pretty good.
Pretty good?
Cold, wet.
This is New Jersey, just maxed out right now.
Those feeds were awesome. Awesome sized fish.
What's going through your head when you're fighting these fish these days? You've done it once or twice.
Really, for the most part, just about keeping that line tight. Keeping that line away from the boat as best you can. Can't let it touch the rail.
Dude, this fish is just sprinting at us right now. James is just, he's trying to talk to me because he's a nice guy, but he's really just trying to reel as fast as he can to stay tight with this fish. Fish is probably going to do a beeline and turn around once he gets close.
Straight up and down.
You don't have to look at me, but what's going through your head when you got an angler on, Jim?
It's really just watching the line, watching what the fish is going to do, keeping him in a good spot, keeping the fish in a good spot.
James, you want to take him in the back?
Yeah, give me a second. I got collar.
Okay.
What's going through your head, Billy, when you're on the gaff?
I always get a little nervous, but I try to keep myself calm. And, you know, I just got to wait for a good shot and hopefully go.
Those head shakes are aggressive, boys. James is making this look easy, y'all, but there's nothing easy about this. Fighting these fish on 20 pounds of drag. They're spinning under the boat.
Yeah, great.
This way. Right on.
That fish will go from being out there to just completely under the boat in the blink of an eye, and you have to be able to react to that in the blink of an eye. Heck yeah. Come on.
Let's go!
Woo!
Let's go, boys!
Oh my God.
Go!
Man, said we were gonna make it happen, they made it happen. Look at that thing! Oh my God, let's go, boys! Heck yeah, let's
go,
made it
boys.
freaking happen. Great work, man. Great work, yeah. Wow.
NLBN. Let's go, every time.
You cannot beat that lure.
Nope, nothing better on the market. Oh, my hands hurt so bad. Best for these conditions, best for these feeds. NLBN for the win, boys. NLBN for the win. Let's go.
Woo! Well, I'm glad these guys know how to fish. Man, we made it happen. That was impressive. It was awesome to see everyone locked in. I'm trying to ask them what they're thinking. They're all like, shut up, Ryan. We're trying to catch a fish.
Yeah, I apologize. I couldn't think that entire fight. I wasn't even thinking.
It's impossible. You just lock in. Dude, so beautiful.
There you go, boys.
64 to 68, I'm gonna say.
64 to 68 inch fish. How heavy?
150 plus.
150 plus. Look at that thing.
I see it now.
They chewing the slop. You know, most people are waiting until 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. It's supposed to lay down later on, but these fish, nothing fires these fish up more than a hard northwest wind. And, you know, I got the snipers up front, take care of business. Woo!
Epic. You just hitting his gill real quick?
Yeah, real quick, just bleeding them out. Gotta take care of the fish, not your nine.
Proud of you, my guy. Proud of you.
Woo!
Hands are freaking frozen blocks. He's got wet gloves.
My fingertips are numb.
Holding that rod, like towards the end, I was perfectly fine, but my hands got so numb that like my grip strength was going. I couldn't even feel my hands.
All right.
72. Holy
Get the
shit.
fuck out of here!
72 and a half.
Let's go!
Are you
Let's
kidding
go! Perfect
Oh
size!
my God, dude.
73 is too big.
73 is too big.
Yep.
72 and a half.
I'm exactly
right there.
at the tip of his nose here.
Keep it there now. Yep. 72. Like almost 3/4. Literally right under. Leave it there. What are you gonna do? Woo! These fish, this time of year, the most success we've ever had is in, excuse my French, shitty conditions.
The roughest you can possibly get out in safely and be able to still kind of run around is where you're going to get the most bites.
Giant freaking bluefin, man. As big as you can keep here. You can keep them up to 73 inches. This one's 72 and a half, 72. Absolutely worked this thing. I think James caught this thing in what, like 10, 12 minutes?
Yeah, I think so.
Dude, so sick. And what was sick too about this one is it ripped half the 20,000 Stella spool. Just like instantly deleted the line. And we're like, oh boys, we might have like a 400 pounder. We don't even know.
Beyond stoked. I mean, with you boys coming up here, I was stoked to catch any fish.
Yeah.
There's been so many giants around, so it would be still sick to catch a giant with you guys, but getting one this size, just small enough to kill it, is just Nothing better. Couldn't have a better situation.
This is the most Jersey thing.
Most Jersey thing you can imagine.
I don't want it any other way. Rough, nasty, a fish, and you know what happened yesterday. This just makes it this much better.
Absolutely. And this is the bait. We actually put a new tail on to show you guys. He had the purple head with the white 8-inch NLBN straight tail. Absolutely smoked it. That's what caught a giant on our last tuna trip with NLBN. So it's cool to see, man. These fish are so sick. Absolutely worth every minute of spray, every minute of heartbreak from that fish yesterday. So cool to see it all come together, man. And I think we're gonna take some pictures, and I get to bring some bluefin tuna home, it looks like. I mean, unless these guys are really hungry and they're gonna eat the whole thing.
Very nice.
Yes, that's a perfect one.
Boxed! Let's go, man.
That's a nice fish, dude.
Really nice.
This really is, man. This is just such a team effort to make something like this happen. You have to have multiple people casting because you just don't know where that fish is gonna pop up. You have to have an experienced guy on the wheel. And to make a video happen like this, you need a guy behind the camera. So shout out to our man Trevor for making this video epic. Absolutely so awesome, man. This is my kind of fishing. We are at the dock by 9 o'clock. Got a bagel sandwich delivered to the dock. Got some hot piping coffee. We're having a good time. It's really rough still, but the wind's supposed to lay down a bit. So the plan is, we got our keeper fish. That's main goal accomplished. But what we haven't seen yet is seen one of these true giants, one of these jumbos, one of these monster 300, 400, 500 pound class fish. Those fish are in tight to the beach, so we should have access to them today. We're gonna get this, enjoy our little breakfast, enjoy our little celebration, and then we're gonna head back out, look for those jumbos, look for more giant striped bass. The day is not over, so stay tuned. Cheers. Hell yeah. We got a bunch of striped bass out in front of us. This topwater's dock, walking, topwater spook. See if we can get one. They love this thing typically. Oh! Oh! Oh, they're jumping! Oh, one cast with the topwater. Dude, they love that plug, man. Jump out of the water for that frickin' thing. You got another keeper? That's a decent one. Good fish. Tail slapper. There we go. Real nice one on the top water. All it took was one cast. She's going back.
Now, I wanted a creative way to show you guys how many fish were actually out there. And man, we accomplished that. I tied on this 360 camera. Check this out. These things are absolutely loaded out there, chasing bait, chasing bunker, and obviously they are interested in a 360 camera as well. Absolutely insane. But what's even crazier is what happens on my very next cast. The striper literally ate the camera. I felt the thump on my end on the rod. I was blown away. And I guess if you think about it, it does kind of just look like a lure getting ripped through the water. So if these things are hot on baits, man, they want to eat a little bit of everything. But that was absolutely one of the coolest shots I've ever captured in any fishing trip I've ever been on. But at that point, it was enough messing around with stripers. It was time to give back. We needed to try and hook one of the true giant tuna. I'm talking 400 to 600 pound class fish, 90 to 100 inch class fish. And if we get one, I told the boys I was jumping in the water.
Oh my god! Oh my god! The big one! Get in there, Jimmy.
There he was, right here. Hard left. Hard left.
Really, really big.
Someone's get tight. Alright, sir, Jerry, go. Oh, nice, dude. Big fish. That was pushing one. Yeah. Hi! Let's go! Get on the wheel! Big fish. Get on the wheel, Jim. I'll take a belt. Alright.
Jim from the top rope comes in and hooks probably a real giant. That fish was huge, man.
You guys are messing around. I had to, had to do something.
So his years of experience are paying off. Incredible.
Or just that rabbit's foot in my pocket.
Woo! Oh my gosh.
You wanted to see a giant?
We hooked a giant.
Want to bump forward?
Bump forward. That is PE10. Penn probably. We could juice them up. Alright, good.
I hope that it wasn't lure.
Good. Jimmy, I know you like that spool.
You good?
Yeah, that's your favorite spool.
Don't jinx me. Forward. Below a half.
I'm just in like idle ground forward.
Yup.
It's coming towards us, coming towards us. Burning towards us.
Good.
Wow, it's crazy. Fish that big changing directions like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So if we had to guesstimate, boys, how big do we think that fish was that we saw?
Over 85, 90
Which equates
Forward,
to
Bubba.
400 or 500 pound fish.
400 to 500
400
pounds.
to 500 pound fish for sure. On the right gear. Hopefully he's hooked good. Get him to the boat.
What's crazy is we had 5 of us that casted. The last person to cast is who hooked up.
It's always the guy. It's never the first guy to cast. Rarely.
Would you really?
Jim, how long you been tuna fishing? I probably asked you this, but let's hear it again.
Ah, shit. I mean, my old man would take me out, back in the 80s when I was like a young teen, but, back then it wasn't anything like this. It was all, big 80 wide reels, bent butts. There was no spinning gear that could even handle it. So, long time, but this style of fishing, probably about 10 years.
Epic. What just happened?
Fish one.
Fish one? Just
Yes.
popped off. I heard a crack like a rifle from the back of the boat.
Yeah. Dug in, took a huge run and snapped.
These things will test your tackle, that's for sure.
PE10.
Wow. Over 100 pound test, y'all.
Let's go get another one.
With only a couple hours of daylight left, we continued looking for one of those true giants like Jim had just hooked up to. We continued moving out and found a couple more feeds, mixed sizes of fish, a couple giants and a couple legal sized ones, kind of like we hooked this morning. But as the day went on, we saw fewer and fewer feeds. We were actually on plane, just kind of moving to a new area, when I looked behind us and a true giant 400 to 500 pound class fish was completely airborne past where we had just ran around. I screamed, got Jim to whip it around, and we all started making casts at this fish. That is, until someone hooked up.
Tight! Woo! Good fish, so get ready, Jim. Do me a favor and just get out of the way. Once you guys reel up, just come in the back so I can see. Woo-hoo-hoo! A lot of line.
A lot of line.
Good with that? Yeah. There's a lot of line out of the reel.
Let's go, James.
Hit it close to the boat. Close.
Yeah, he really did. Yeah.
Really
we were
close.
just bullshitting talking. He wasn't expecting a bite at all. That was crazy.
Still less than half a school. That thump was so light, it felt like a 30-inch bass just ate the thumb. Yes. Bobby's good.
It was light work to that. Woof. Does that one feel a little bit bigger than the one this morning?
Yeah, by about 30 inches.
By about double the weight.
At least, let's say triple.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry. All good.
Billy, how long can these fights take?
4+ hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We might be missing dinner for this
We
fish.
got an expert on the rod though, so
Whoa.
hopefully it's around an
Wow,
hour.
that's some kind words out of you, Bill.
Yeah, I mean, that's, come on. This guy's an expert.
Hey man, second fish of the day. You and me? Nada.
Not my day today.
Jim's hooking him in the back of the boat. Jim's taking 10 casts all day and hooked
Got
one.
3/4 of the spool back, I'd say. Maybe a little under.
That initial hookup when you're in this kind of scenario is always like, your adrenaline's gonna go through the roof. You chase them all day for, at best, 3 bites, 4 bites. So getting that bite, you're gonna drain your adrenaline quick. But I always just try to tell myself I'm just reeling in a fish. You can treat it like any other fish. It's just a lot bigger. That's all it is.
What happens if you don't calm yourself down?
If you don't calm yourself down, you're gonna make a mistake. You're gonna drain yourself out really fast. Neutral. Neutral.
Burning towards us, burning towards us. That's crazy how fast that fish came back at us, y'all. Crazy. Is it the same exact jig head from this morning?
Yeah.
That 4-ounce NLBN jig head, that BKK hook in it. Woof, man.
Gotta be that purple.
So when that initial hookup happened, everyone kind of just goes to get exactly what they need to get done. So for me, I go start clearing all the rods that are up here. Billy goes, grabs the belt. Jim's on the wheel immediately. Trevor's grabbing the camera. Everyone's doing their job, making sure that we can put ourselves in the best situation to get us look at this fish and, you know, maybe document it for you guys. It's cool to see everyone working like that. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Doesn't like to eat.
Dude, it's crazy how fast they burn back at you. It's like a bonita, but it just weighs, you know, 500
It's
pounds.
just him turning one time. Dude. It's pretty insane.
I guess, yeah, if you think about it, like, if a fish is 9 feet long and it just spins around backwards, gaining all that line back, it's gonna take you 10 cranks.
Yeah.
Like,
I actually loosened when I set the hook because it was really, really tight. Like literally pulled me in.
when you try and set the hook, but the rod doesn't bend,
Yeah.
you just can't get the rod up enough. You know, we dumped all the layers and you look like a completely different person now. Everyone's gonna be like, that's not the same fish. You just stitched the same fish or stitched 2 fish together. That is one thing that's crazy about this is it's cold out here all day long, but you get on a fish for 5 minutes on the rod and you're ready to be in a t-shirt and shorts. It's just insane how much they put your body through.
Ryan starts stripping clothes off now? What do you think?
Don't jinx it.
So we're about 20-ish minutes into the fight, and I think he's been at 3/4 spool the whole time. It's like gain, 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 lose all that line again. Fish is being real erratic, real aggressive. How do you feel physically right now?
Feeling great. Gotten lucky enough for him to just kind of stay out away from the boat the entire fight, so it's not killing me.
Yeah, we're talking about that. When the fish is straight up and down, when he's straight down, you have to lean forward and it just kills the low back. But when you can lean back on these fish, it's so much easier to put heat on them and when they're away from the boat.
Fish is probably 10 feet down right there.
Yeah.
He was so close.
I hate that when you're like going one way and they quickly.
Oh man,
That's like so scary.
erratic maneuvers.
Dude,
Rap's pretty good right now.
scary.
Billy, what types of things have you had break when fighting these giants?
The reel, the rod, the line, the split rings, the belt,
You're
the
spearing.
leader, our speared, our hearts.
So basically everything breaks when you
The
fight these
handle,
giants.
The reel seam.
Break you.
Yep.
You know, at this point, I would say it just looks like you're fighting a nurse shark, my friend.
Yeah.
Just slow, steady pull, shaking its head. Let's just forget about all those screaming runs, just dumping a Stella 20,000 without any effort. Fish is coming up, might be on top.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Show us that sickle.
Dang, it's not far at all.
Show us that sickle. It's gonna win.
Trying to pull him up.
There he is. It's on top out there. I don't know if this camera's gonna pick it up, but it's on top out there. Oh, we got a little something something. A little something something. Billy, how different is it to fight a fish like this morning versus a fish like this?
Oh, so different.
How so?
You can kind of just sit on him and, you know, take your time and pull on him when he's ready. But the one this morning, you're going in the back, the front, under the boat. It's so erratic. It kind of gets crazy with those wreck-sized fish.
I think because that drag on that a small fish like that is like so much for it. Meanwhile, a fish like this, 30 pounds of drag is nothing.
Like a toothpick in
Yeah.
his mouth. This fight's been a lot different. It's been a lot longer. He's took a lot of line. The line's getting really twisted. It's just, these giants just know how to expose every flaw in your tackle. But this fish seems like he's cooperating right now. And we might get a shot on him.
You know, Jim, I think these kids are a little spoiled. Catching 400 pounders before the age of 22.
Yeah, not bad, man. Good stuff.
Yes. Very, very mean.
Gotta be Bobby.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, like,
How you feeling at the 45-minute mark?
Yeah.
Feeling really good. He's starting to go down, so a lot more pressure on my arms and my back, but so far so good.
Heck yeah, man. We're at about the 1 hour mark now. James is still going strong. Sun is getting a little low back there. Hopefully we get to see this fish boat side before the sun's down. And look at those blonde locks just flowing in the wind. Unbelievable. What's happening in the distance, Billy?
a really good feed that I want to cast into.
I think we should just tell James to open the bail at this point and we can go do it. We'll come back to his fish in a second.
James's fish just made a major turn.
Oh my gosh. Seeing this fight is unlike anything I've ever witnessed before. This much heat on this big a fish for this long, insanely impressive. And unless you've done it, you can't really have respect for it, but trying to do my best to explain it to you guys, because there is nothing easy about this. It takes a lot of stamina up here and a lot of stamina in the body.
What's up, please? Yes. Yes, we have a giant boat up.
This would be good, Billy, too, if we could get him up. If he gets up to the surface.
Oh, wow.
Ready with that gaff.
Yeah, he's so far from down
No,
there.
you never know. Though.
Right here.
At this point, the fish is getting pretty tired, so is James, but what our goal is to put a gaff just in the lip of this fish, and then essentially get it unhooked and release it. It's really close, but this part of the fight can actually go on for quite a while because of how big these fish are, how stubborn they can be. And you can see Billy is so close here. He's within inches, but also the hook is in that thing's face, so he's apprehensive. He doesn't want to accidentally unhook it with the gaff and then have the fish get away. So essentially, we want to get the lip gaff in, not accidentally unhook it. And if we do all of those things, I said I'm jumping in this 50-degree water and taking a swim with this monster, because that would be way too cool of an opportunity. But I also wasn't super excited to jump in 50-degree water and then have a really cold 40-degree ride home.
Well, we'd definitely be able to put a dart in him. There's about 50 chances to put a dart in him right here.
Oh, yeah.
Fish is under the boat, so you gotta kind of stick the rod straight down in the water. Let him spin back around. Then put the rod back in the gimbal. Wait for that next shot. That looks crazy with the sunset. Goes so crazy.
He was like 6 inches away from me.
Yeah, I know, it really was.
No stress. Oh, good.
If you're still talking to us, we know you're doing good. It's when the angler gets real silent that you're like, oh, we don't have much longer with this man.
Yep, coming. Come on, Billy. Oh, broke him.
Hold it. Hold it off. Oh. That's a killed fish, but God.
What happened, boys?
Pulled the hook both side.
So if we were going to harvest that fish, if it was kill season, what would we have done
He
differently?
would have had a harpoon in his head about 10 times.
Darted it.
It was right there.
I don't feel that bad about it. I mean,
Yeah.
those fish are so hard to get up both sides and get a lip gaff in them. It is what it is.
Yeah, he was being annoying. He came kind of up to the bow, so I had to keep like running around the boat and stuff. But once again, if it was a part of the season where we could have killed it, we could have gaffed it in the face. Like we didn't even have to harpoon it. We could have gaffed it, but we were trying to take our time and make sure we didn't hit it anywhere that would hurt the fish in any way. We're trying to get it right in the lip.
I
So
was trying to be as gentle as possible. I was touching him with the lip gaff. That's how close he was. But
So if we were going by like bill fishing standards, for instance, that
Oh
was
my
a
God.
caught fish 12 times over. Leader in the rod tip multiple times, fish right there. Absolute giant. You guys think like 90 inches? 95?
yeah.
So
90 to 95.
how heavy could that fish be?
anywhere from 375 to 500 pounds.
That's-
really.
He was pretty round one. I'd say it was somewhere in the low 400s. I would probably
That's
guess.
so crazy. On a spinning rod in probably an hour, 15 minutes, hour 20, one guy on the rod, it can be done.
Absolutely.
It absolutely can be done. We just proved it here today, which is insane, man.
Awesome.
Insane.
Yeah, that was sick.
Great effort, brother.
Yeah.
You guys did, that was sick. Honestly, crazy to see. And sun is down. So I guess that means
Dark to dark.
we're gonna see you guys back at the dock. So this place is super cool. Breakfast place and a tackle shop all in one. Everyone's fueling up. We have a giant to fillet and weigh. Everyone's guessed their weights. I'm guessing it's going to be 181. So we'll see. See you guys at the dock. Okay, back at the dock. The boys are about to take out this tuna. I guessed 181 pounds. We'll see. But all I know is actually the hardest thing about tuna fishing is getting the fish out of the ice after it's been on ice, especially when it's a big one like this. Light work, boys.
I'll lift them up. Just grab this.
Nice. You guys have done this once or twice before.
Alright, now the fun part.
Gotta get him up on that scale.
Alright.
$172!
Wow.
Winner, chicken dinner.
On the dot.
Boom! Perfect New Jersey wreckfish. Cannot get any better than that.
That's sick.
It's pretty cool. Damn, the scissors are not the best.
Just a small piece, Billy. A lot smaller than that. Literally, like, no more than a nail.
All right, so what are we doing here with that guy?
Cool. So we've this year we've been doing Bluefin Collaborative. So what we're doing is we're taking finlet samples off of all the bluefin, you know, labeling them, when we caught them, where we caught them, how big the fish was, and we're sending it up to a buddy of ours up out of Cape Cod who's doing, you know, more or less DNA study on the fish to try to, you know, track them, try to figure out their patterns and those type of things. So it's pretty cool, you know. It's definitely a neat thing to do, and you know, if we want to keep catching these things and keep being able to catch these things, the more science involved, the more we learn about them, you know, the better.
Excellent.
So
that's
stuff.
sick.
These are the test kits. These are the vials.
Looks like we're running a drug testing ring.
Yeah. So that's that.
So this is the Tuna Junkie dungeon, I guess, man. There's a lot of cool stuff back in here. Billy's rigging up over there. Behind you, you guys have your own line spooling set up?
Got a spooler, all the lines.
How often do you guys re-spool your reels?
A lot. Fresh line going on the reels all the time.
I'm always a guy that's a little superstitious, so if it gives me the confidence to put a little bit more heat on fish to have fresh line, I'm always going to be doing that too. But this place is cool, man. Just literally lined up with rods, tuna setups. I'm sure half these reels are broken from these big fish too.
Yeah. This is like all the light stuff for the back bay stuff.
Back
and
bay.
then, you know, that's kind of the spooling station. And then we got another little.
We got even more gear in here.
More of a dungeon here, yeah.
This is epic.
More racks.
Racks,
You know,
gear,
drawers full of, drawers full of stuff.
poppers.
Poppers,
everything.
gloves, the whole thing, jigs everywhere.
I think should inspire men everywhere that they need to dedicate half their house to tackle. That's all I'm
Absolutely.
thinking. So, who knows how to pronounce it? Is it Gyotako?
I don't even know.
I could not tell you.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, so I think this is called Gyotako, which is basically a fish print on rice paper. So you paint the fish and you press it onto paper. I actually did this in my last video that you guys saw with the snook, but obviously tuna are pretty freaking big, so it would take a giant piece of paper.
There's James before he grew.
That's James?
That's
No
James.
way.
Yeah.
Me and Billy next to each other now. It's funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wild, right?
That's sick. Billy, you haven't grown at all. So the boys typically actually fillet the fish on the dock. I guess that's just a little bit easier. And a nice fillet table right there, but I think dock is preferred for a giant like
Yeah,
this.
this big fish is much easier to fillet on the dock.
How many tuna have you filleted in your lifetime there, Billy?
Oh God, a lot.
Billy is our fillet guy.
Is he really? He's the one that's always cutting them up?
Back, I'll be the one that's on the boat cleaning duty. I'll be cleaning the entire time he's filleting, but he's...
This knife is incredible.
Is it? Awesome. That meat looks so good. Might change your play game, huh?
Oh my god, this knife's incredible, dude. Let's switch knives. Cool. Look at that Toro.
Wow, look at that fat.
That Toro's sick.
So that got one giant bottom loin.
This is the Toro. It's the belly of the tuna. The fattiest, most sought after part.
That literally looks like Wagyu. Like
Yeah.
it looks like a very fatty marbled steak. And that's like the most expensive cut too, isn't it?
It melts in your mouth, that cut. It's amazing.
So if someone asked you how much a tuna like this would go for on like a commercial market, it's not $1 million, is it?
It's not $1 million. No, it's probably $5 a pound, something like that.
Gotcha. And that with head on or head off?
That's
Would they give it to you?
head off.
Yeah, gotcha. So this knife that I loaned to Billy for this fish, this is a collaboration between Ocean Devil and GC Knives, actually in Millbrook, New York. There's only a handful of these available on the Ocean Devil website, y'all, but you can check them out. I have them linked down below in the description.
Yeah, I mean, this knife is sick.
It's probably, there's just a lot more like ass behind it than other knives too, so like you can get it going.
Yeah.
Rolls right off.
That's a nice
Dude, look at that freaking loin. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's a heavy loin.
Oh, look at that.
That's like a whole few sushi
Yeah, it
rolls.
really is.
Sweet. What's that noise?
Check the stomach before you toss it.
This is the tuna stomach. It feels empty, but we always like to see what he was eating. If he's got anything at all.
Just a lot of
Butters.
Oh wow, butters. Little butters. Hake too.
surprised you can even tell what you're looking at.
That's just little butters, I
That
think.
is a little butter. Lissa butter.
Yeah, so it's really annoying when fish are feeding on small stuff like this. It's much harder to get a bite, but this guy still wanted that NLBN, which is cool.
Sand eel.
Oh, there's a sand eel. Sand eel is the closest thing, you know, matching the hatch. The sand eels can get about 8 inches long like the NLBN.
Wow, butters, that's crazy.
But I think sometimes, man, these fish just eat whatever they can, whatever's in front of them, and then other times they can be picky.
Grab the black one from my boat.
100%. Tyler's actually made me another one.
Dude, you're an animal. Absolute animal.
smaller chunks, or you want it like that? You want to cut the red out of it?
Yeah, let's just cut the red out of it.
Just do it, make it beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be super beautiful for video. I'm just more of just saving me the weight.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna cut it out in the first place. Ooh. What's your favorite way to eat bluefin?
I like to either steak it out
Mm-hmm.
and just do it with a sesame ginger glaze,
Mm-hmm.
or I'll just, you know, thinly slice it and just raw with like a ponzu sauce.
Yeah, so guys, the dark red is the bloodline. You've heard me talk about this if you're a regular to the channel, but that is essentially the part that will taste really fishy, really strong. It's very oily and it would spoil super fast. So typically cut that out. This whole section, this bloodline section, is full of bones. So that's typically going to be crab food.
You bring that fish to Brad?
Yeah.
What time you think? So yeah, I guess
So people have asked me before, how do you get meat home when you're going on a plane? Basically, I go to Walmart the minute I get here. I buy the cheapest cooler I can get, and it has to be like 48 quarts, as I found is a sweet spot. Fill it with ice packs, and then I fill it with fish. You cannot have actual ice on the plane. You can't have that liquid in case it will melt. It'll get water everywhere. But basically all I do is fill it with ice packs, close it up, and then cover it in tape, and you check it like any other bag. Right now, I have a sealed bag of ice. Just keep everything ready to go, nice and chilled, but when I get to the airport, I'll dump that ice in the trash can, and yeah, we'll tape it up and check it like any other bag. If you get a bigger cooler than this, it's going to end up being way more than 50 pounds, and you're going to pay a lot in checked baggage fees, but we have like 46 pounds of between fish and ice packs in here right now. Plenty of meat for me and my friends. Going to be giving a lot away when I get back to Florida. And I guess that means I'll see you back in Florida. Okay, welcome back to Florida. We have so much stuff taken over my counter right now because we have a bunch of people coming over for a little sushi night, a little sushi action. I have my lovely assistant behind the camera, also professional sushi chef behind the camera. So I'm gonna try and make a sushi roll, and then she's gonna show you guys how she wants to make a sushi roll. But basically, name of the game with sushi is prep work. Getting everything ready so you can make your rolls. Starting off with your sushi rice, have to season your sushi rice, mixture of things like rice vinegar, sugar, salt. Everything else that you want to put in a sushi roll is really up to you. I have things like mango, avocado, asparagus. This is some imitation crab that we had shredded up. Of course, we have stripped out our bluefin tuna. I also have some other little patties that we're gonna make into some bluefin sliders, which I'm super excited for. And yeah, just gonna dive on in and start by making a sushi roll for you guys. So this right here, this seaweed paper, it's called a nori. It's got two sides to it. Got a shiny side and a rough side. You wanna put the rice onto the rough side. Now, sushi rice is super, super sticky, so I always wet my hands before I touch it. Basically grab a glob of rice, and then we're going to push it down onto our nori, and we're gonna try and spread it very evenly across our nori.
Yeah.
Now, with sushi rolls, you can have the nori, the seaweed paper, on the inside or the outside. I like it on the inside of my roll. I just don't like the texture as much. So at this point, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip my roll over. At this point, all we have to do is fill in our roll. So I'm gonna take a couple strips of bluefin tuna. Man, that looks good. It looked so good coming back. I mean, it was only on the flight for a couple hours, but got it back in the house, got it in the fridge. Looks phenomenal. Also gonna do some asparagus. What else we got for this one? I'll do a little bit of cucumber. This right here, some crispy fried onions, adds a nice texture to it. And like I said, you can do really whatever you want. You can put this stuff on top of the roll, on the bottom of the roll. At this point, I'm just gonna put this in. So now we wanna roll the sushi roll over onto itself. This little bamboo roller I have, I actually bought when I lived in Japan, but you kind of use that to help shape your roll. Work it back up. Use the bamboo roller, get that shape. And the only reason I have a Ziploc bag is because of how sticky this rice is. It's even sticking to the bag right now. And that's just pretty standard for sushi rice. One last time, we'll get that seam on the bottom. Get that nice sushi roll shape. So some black sesame seeds, just sprinkled on top. Give it a little bit of character. And just some normal sesame seeds. We're making probably 20-ish rolls tonight, so everything is a big process. Basically gonna have a big conveyor belt. Christina and I will be making as many rolls as fast as we can, a bunch of different ones. So I just roll these guys in saran wrap, and when it's time to cut them all up and plate them all, it's very easy to slice them, and the saran wrap actually helps. I'll show you guys that in a bit.
I'm taking my nori and I'm just dipping my hands in water because it makes the whole process like with your hands, it doesn't make your hands stick to the rice as much. So I'm grabbing this. You really only need like a very thin layer because you'd be surprised how filling it is. And then you just go ahead and press it all on to cover. Ready? Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna make a traditional roll. So we're gonna have the nori on the outside. So I don't need to flip the whole thing over. I'm just gonna go ahead and fill with whatever, you know, I choose really. So I'm gonna take a nice strip of the bluefin tuna. And by the way, like bluefin tuna is such a delicacy. I'm so excited for this. It feels like such a treat to have like the nicest tuna for this and to share it with all of our friends. Sometimes I like to shred the crab and just put it in. Really doesn't matter. I'm gonna put...
So that's an imitation crab stick. That is a shredded imitation crab stick. And I'm pretty sure it's just made from pollock. You guys can look up what that fish looks like.
I'm gonna go ahead and put some mango in this one. And you would be surprised with how many things that you, like, that is gonna make a decent roll. Like if you overfill it, the roll is gonna be like this big. It's gonna be giant, so.
Like the one I made one?
Yeah, no need to go overboard here. Okay, so like I said, we have lots of stuff that we can put in it. I'm gonna put some spicy mayo in it. Just a strip of spicy mayo, and then we'll roll and go ahead. And this is, the first roll is the hardest, but you have to commit. And then you pull up, and then you just make sure everything is tight. And then you got that, and then you'll do the same thing. And we're just really shaping the roll, making sure that it forms nicely. And I love the taste of nori, so I'm excited for this one. All right, so with that, really, we're just gonna put some saran wrap on it, and then we're putting it in the fridge, and then we have to make 15 more.
Alrighty, so not only are we making sushi rolls tonight, we're also gonna make some tuna sliders. So I just have a couple pieces of this bluefin cut to basically the size of the little buns, right? Real simple, just salt and pepper on these guys. Hot cast iron skillet, and just gonna go in with sesame oil. This just kind of gives that authentic sushi Asian kind of flavor to it. So I'll just lay these guys into the cast iron. Now, these are just like beef, right? You can cook them to whatever temperature you want. You can cook it all the way through, or you can just sear it.
And then fill it like down by you.
So right now, Christina is making our very last tuna roll. She's got some of the extra tuna mixed up in some spicy mayo. So that's gonna be a wonderful roll. And I'm actually gonna run around with this appetizer. Now this is the toro. This is the fatty belly meat. Was told to basically cook this just completely on its own, serve it with ponzu sauce. So we're gonna have everyone give it a try. I'm excited. It looks really, really good. Is it good?
I think that was really good.
I want one. Yes. Is it cooked or? Oh.
it's falling apart.
That's so good.
Sorry, Dustin, I stole your sushi roll.
That's supposed to be mine.
I didn't realize we didn't have any more paper left.
That's delicious. It literally falls apart in your mouth.
So, next step in the process, we finished rolling. We actually ran out of nori, so that was our limiter, basically. We take these and we cut them up. Much easier to cut them with saran wrap, so I just leave the saran wrap on them. Super easy, just divide it in twos. Divide it in two. And divide it in two. Now, finish this guy up. There's always gonna be an ugly end of the sushi roll, right? Doesn't look pretty for plating, but what you can do, it's eat it right here. Christina has an eye for art, so she is the one plating all of these beautiful sushi rolls, making everything look pretty. And we're not done yet after we plate them. We have all of these awesome little ingredients, and we're gonna be basically decorating everything, and that's probably the most fun part of the night, is you just get to throw whatever you want on top of the sushi rolls.
I just subscribed to his YouTube like a couple weeks ago. Don't.
Decorating.
All right, are you gonna start, or what do we got going on, Christina? They're all looking to you for guidance.
Okay. I'll do an example. All right, so we've got some eel sauce. We have a bunch of stuff, but I'm gonna take. Let's do like this one. This is a pretty simple one. We are just gonna do a little one of these. I'm gonna do one of these.
So spicy mayo and then eel sauce.
Yep, and then I'm gonna take some breadcrumbs. This gives it a really, really nice texture. Oh, you have a pretty simple one. But we've got like shredded crab that's gonna go on top. We've got crispy onions.
We're putting some crunchies on the sushi. Don't know what they are. They're crispy onions. Yum. Well, adds a little bit of a texture, you know, when you bite into it. Oops, I lost one in the sauce. I think that's the real sauce. So hopefully someone like, oh, that has a hole in it.
So we have those tuna steaks that we seared up. These are just going on these little slider rolls. Very, very simple. And now anyone here can make them however they want them. I have lettuce, tomato, onion, just like any little tuna burger. And man, this is gonna be delicious. I already had one of the extra patties myself. Tuna tastes amazing. I think I'll show you guys how I'm gonna make one of mine. So I'm gonna go in with some spicy mayo on this one. And I'm gonna go in with a little bit of eel sauce for this one. Now again, everyone else here is gonna make a slider. I'm just gonna let them make it the way they want it to. But for me, some tomato, a little bit of onion, and some lettuce.
It's good.
And that is how we're gonna do it. Little tuna sliders. All right, you guys ready again? Okay, how was all the sushi, everyone?
So good.
I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you want to see another awesome adventure like this one, check out this video right here, somewhere around there. See you over there.
Thanks for watching.